Hey my friends, it's your old pal Jordan the Lion. How are you all doing today? I hope you said great. I am excited today because we are in New Smyrna Beach, Florida, and today we are going to see something absolutely epic. We are going to see Bob Ross's painting gallery. We all know Bob Ross, maybe the most lovable television painter of all time. Well, about 2 years before he passed away, he decided to open a gallery with many of his paintings. I believe that over 50 of his paintings to leave here for after he passed. He knew he had cancer, and they also began teaching instructors that would teach his method here. So I'm excited to check this out. Daze with Jordan the Lion, it begins right now. And here it is, kind of in a strip mall. As you can see over here in the window, it says Bob Ross, and you've got the Bob Ross Art Workshop and Gallery. So I came inside and they're actually having a class, but you can see you can buy all of Bob Ross products, including learning kits for kids, bobbleheads, paint kits, a little bit of everything. And of course his classic face is on every single item. There's the instructor section where he kind of shows them what they're all going to be painting next and all of his paints and everything. And then look at this, some great pictures of Bob with his little critters. And that's the amazing thing right there, is that Bob, he believed that anybody given the passion could learn how to paint. And as you can tell by this room, there are a lot of people that feel the same way. Look how many paintings they have on the walls. So one of the things I love is that on each one of these paintings it looks like they have a number, which this one is 27.5, which I believe means 27th season, 5th episode. Because Bob would actually film, he would film for about a week for each season, and he would do 3 episodes a day. Now what's interesting is he would actually paint the paintings before, have one off to the side, then he would paint one for the 26-minute episode, and then after they were done for the day, he would go back and paint a third painting so that Annette Kowalski, who was his business partner, could photograph all of the process for his books. And there was a season book for each season. And this one was season 22, number 9, Haven in the Valley.
I think you might like it. But if you don't, we can fix it. We can fix it. Okay. I'm gonna just leave it alone.
Of course, Bob lived in Alaska for like 12 years, so he always said that was his inspiration for a lot of this. And they even have a cardboard cutout of him here, so you kind of feel like he's here with you while you're learning. Oh, they even have shirts. You can buy all the Bob Ross T-shirts. Now this was season 31, number 13. I think they did 13 episodes per season, and 31, I think season 31 was the last full season. He passed away while they were working on season 32. And there in the corner in red you could always find his signature. Ross. Bob didn't really believe in selling his paintings. He would donate them to the PBS stations that carried his channel or his show, and then they would auction them to fans. Wilderness Way. Cool thing is I'm hearing everybody in here talking about how much fun they're having. That was always the point. And it's kind of cool here. They basically all have their easel on the paper in front of them, and they work off of that. This one is season 27, episode 13, called Golden Glow of Morning. And he filmed, what's interesting is he filmed everything in Muncie, Indiana. So if you go to the Ball State campus, the house that he filmed all the episodes in is still open, and they've turned it into a tribute to Bob. This one's Wilderness Trail, and this is definitely like classic Bob Ross because there's a tree right there in the front. He used to love to add a tree, like right at the end of the painting, because he said it did two things. It would freak out his producer, because they were always worried that he wouldn't get done in time for the episode, but he liked it because it created a lot of depth to the painting. Now this one actually does, it says it's unpublished and untitled. So I wonder if this was maybe at the end, or just something he did in his free time. It's beautiful though. He did that wet on wet style paint. I'm just gonna blown away by how many they have here on display. That's so cool. And here we have one from episode 29. Looks like we might be working backwards. So from the most recent to the earliest. 29, episode 5, Countryside Barn. So you can actually go look up these episodes and watch them if you want. Beautiful. There's that tree in the forefront again. And he used to love to have his son Steve on too a lot, because he said Steve was the greatest mountain painter that Bob had ever seen. This is Woodman's Retreat from season 29, episode 13. This one is Cabin at Trail's End, season 21, episode 5. I like that because he did like the oval, but the tree's coming out of the oval. This one's a little bit of a glare on it because they're all hung a little bit higher, but that one's season 20, episode 1, Mystic Mountain. And he did not do these off the cuff. Like I said, he would paint one before and then one during the episode, so he'd have one to use as a reference. But he said that like the night before they would film, he would go over every single stroke in his mind so that he knew exactly what he was going to do. And that one's season 26, number 5, A Trace of Spring. That is awesome. Can't believe we're getting to see so many Bob Ross at one time. Now this one is season 22, number 11, called Pastel Seascape. God, look at those waves. Born and raised in Florida. He was born here, kind of near here in Daytona Beach, and then was raised in Orlando. And this one's Island in the Wilderness. Season 29, episode 1. The depth in all the trees, I love it. And this one's called Boat on the Beach, from season 24, number 10. I'm kind of lucky I got here when the class went on lunch, so I'm not really bothering anybody. Oh, that one's amazing. Those are not colors you normally attribute with him. He's usually all about the greenery and the snow, but this one's called Snow Birch. Season 26, episode 7. And anybody can sign up and take classes here. I think they do them several times a week. Oh, that one's amazing. That one's called High Tide. Season 16, episode 8. The detail in the waves.
No, I don't think so at all.
This one's season 29, number 4. Light at the Summit. You know what's interesting is I believe it was like the second season, the night before the second season started, he would always, like I said, he would always paint the entire season up front, so he would have his references. All the paintings got stolen the night before and he had to do them all from memory. Now the next one over here is season 19, episode 6, Waterfall in the Woods. And this one is season 18, episode 12, Southwest Serenity. That's also unique. I don't recall him doing a whole lot of Southwest.
That way you're
And then this one's called Daisies at Dawn from season 27, episode 6. Also not normal. It's done in a circular painting style as well, as opposed to the rectangular canvases. And then next to it we have one from season 31, the last full season, episode 5, Cabin in the Hollow.
Yes.
Then that one's called After the Rain. Season 19, episode 10.
That's really cool. And I can't have anything like that.
I know some of you are probably like, are you going to show all of them? I sure am. When else will I ever get to see these? Misty Foothills, season 30, episode 6. If you look at the trees, you can see that gloppy paint style that Bob was known for. This one's called A Dawn's Light, season 23, episode 7. It's kind of cool that they have so many from so many different seasons, because then you kind of get to see what he was inspired by for each season, or how he developed from the early seasons of being on television. Of course, always wearing kind of like the same clothes, because he didn't know. He said he didn't know how long his shows would be popular, so he wanted to wear clothes that would never go out of style. But the hair, of course. Harry did to save money. This is called A Perfect Winter's Day, season 29, episode 11. Yeah, he went with the afro because he didn't have to get it cut as often when he was trying to save money in the early days. That one's also really unique because it's 2 paintings. Season 29, number 3. It's called Seasonal Progression. Actually, it looks like he might have put some sort of frame down to divide them, and then he painted it all as one painting.
Everybody, they've done a great job.
Well, maybe not, because the color and everything. I know it's supposed to be seasonal, but I bet he did them at the same time. Kind of like doing the same mountains and then going over here and doing these mountains and going back and forth. I'll have to watch that one. Season 29. And this one is called Deep Woods. Season 16, episode 7. And I'm noticing here that, when Bob was getting sick, he encouraged his business partner, Annette Kowalski, to kind of do some of the shows and teach people how to paint flowers, since he wasn't good at that. And they have a lot of her paintings here as well. I believe she may even own this. I know she ended up with a lot of the rights to his stuff. There's a whole controversy behind that as well.
Nice to talk to you. Next time.
Deep Woods, great painting. Wow. Now as we come along the last wall over here, you can see his are all going along the top, and Annette's are all going along the bottom. Her paintings are great, but controversy was that she basically took someone else's style and released a book on her own that was exactly like their book, almost to the T. But back to Bob, that's who we came to see. This is season 30, number 8, episode 8, Home in the Valley. That's awesome, that is great. And this one's called Trapper's Cabin from season 29, episode 8. God, it's beautiful. He really captured the seasons in there, the trees and everything. Kind of cool to see all the progress that people are making in the class here. Their own unique take on the paintings. This one's called Splendor of a Snowy Winter. Season 27, episode 11. Put some happy little cold trees in here. No mistakes, happy accidents only, remember? And this one's called Rustic Winter Woods. Also from 27, season 27, episode 3. So no, they weren't, none of the seasons had like a definitive concept per season, because you can see that's the same season. That one's called Wilderness Falls, also from season 27. Just absolutely amazing. What a talent. He started out painting gold pans in Alaska and selling those. So maybe that's why he kind of has some of these as like a circular painting, kind of to remind him of those days or times that he was painting in Alaska. This is season 27, episode 1, Twilight Beauty. This one is season 27, episode 7, so they have a lot of season 27 here. It's called A Spectacular View, and boy is it. Always look, if you're going to buy a Bob Ross, always look for the red signature in the left-hand corner, lower left corner. It says Ross. But now they're saying, I've heard, you know, people claim that there's knockoffs of his paintings that have been forged, and that Annette is the only person that can actually authenticate any of them. Beautiful. Kind of getting some bad light on both sides of the painting right now. Sorry about that, but this is season 22, episode 13, Silent Forest. This one is unpublished, untitled. And it's kind of strange that the ones he did in 92, looks like he put a date in those when he would sign them. So this one has a Ross 92 in the corner. He didn't generally do that I know of. Wow, I just love that one though. Gosh. Can you imagine painting that in 26 minutes? This one's called Waterfall Wonder. Season 16, number 11. Seems a little bit, not quite as vibrant as far as what's going on in the painting than what he would do later on. Episode 16, you can see he signed it kind of, not quite the lower corner, a little bit higher. Oh no, that's a rather early one. That's season 9. Episode 12, I love that one. God, that's amazing. Mountain by the Sea. Kind of showing you at a corner, kind of at an angle because of the lighting. Wow, what a beauty. Then this one is season 27, number 12. Kind of gloomy, called Forest River. Trying to get you the best angle with the lighting and everything in here. Now that one's interesting. Look at that. That's season 30, episode 2. It's called Wood Grain View. And he definitely did something a little different here, where it looks like he put something down in the center so that he could work on that later. You see there's like that rectangle, almost like a street sign shape there.
I'm okay with staying here till...
So the tree is outside of all of that. Very unique. Very different. And this one's called Indian Summer. From season 21, episode 9. That's great. Very simple, just the fallen tree there. This one is really amazing also. From season 30, episode 12, Evening's Glow. Man, that's great. And here we have Hidden Delight from season 20, episode 12. That one is amazing. That is called Autumn Palette. I love it all. I love that broken down fence, the old tree, the lighting. That's just incredible. From season 25, episode 7. And then I think this is the last one we haven't seen yet. Season 26, episode 6. An Arctic Winter's Day. It's amazing. I'm so glad I came to check all this stuff out today. Oh, and then that big one is one of Bob's also.
Yes.
When it came to merchandising and stuff, he didn't care, but like his business partners did. And what's interesting is that, you know, he held them to a high standard. If he wanted a certain brush or a certain consistency to the paint, he was relentless on making sure he got it. You can still buy his paint pretty much everywhere. Here you can buy a 3-hour workshop with Bob, or his famous spatula scraper. Kind of hard to believe this place has been here since 1993. I overheard the woman teaching here said that they used to have shag carpeting and they would put tarp on the floor when they would paint, but this is the same place that he opened before he passed away in 93. That was really awesome. That was so cool. I couldn't believe when I showed up here they were having a class, and you know, I was like, what are the chances the one time I would come that would happen? And when I was leaving, I've heard her saying this is the first class they've had in like quite some time. So interesting thing though, I had been curious about what happened to the paintings that he did for the 32 season, and that they, you know, they never filmed it or anything. Some of the paintings I don't even think were finished. And I did ask, I said, do you know what happened to the paintings for season 32? And the lady said, I do. And I said, are you allowed to tell me what happened to them? She said, nope. I said, are they on display anywhere? She said, nope. And I said, does Annette have them? And she said, nope. So there you go. Like I said, there's like a whole controversy to what happened to everything after Bob's death, and the company and his name, like the rights to his name, all that stuff. There are actually 2 documentaries that you can watch about Bob, and one is basically from Annette Kowalski and her family side, and one is from Steve Ross's side, Bob's son, and he tells, you know, his side of the story. So both very fascinating, but Bob Ross should never be forgotten. He made a lot of people that really thought they would never have talent or could never do anything creative. He proved them wrong, and that's really something. And he was such a likable guy that glad that they have his work here on display, and that it wasn't all sold off for $30,000 a painting or whatever, and that there is a place that Bob wanted to last that still has his stuff that you can enjoy. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great night, and goodbye.